Hello and welcome to TooeleTV. I'm your host, Doug Radunich. Tonight we'll be speaking with Pat Jessie. She is the executive director for the Stansbury Art and Literary Society. First off, I'm curious, Pat, exactly how did this group begin? When did it all start?
It started around 2009 when I found there was no organization there in Tooele County that I could go to and join and be able to show my photography. Where I lived before, they had juried art shows, and just hadn't been anything like that out here. Yeah. And so that was the essential idea.
Yeah. And I'm also curious, it seems like a lot of people, they have this revelation of when they first got into their real talent, when they first started to hone their craft. How old were you when you first decided this is what I want to do, this is my passion? When did you first really get into art?
Well, not to say it was my passion as much as that I just enjoyed doing art. And I started back when I was 13 doing charcoal portraits of my friends. Cool. And that then went into oil painting. Then, during the time of raising children, didn't do anything with art, really. Mm-hmm. But in 1984, I came into possession of a Canon camera and took photography lessons for 4 or 5 years and became a fine arts photographer, an award-winning photographer. But this was back east. And essentially, I was able to enter my work into juried art shows. Great. And that found success there. Mm-hmm. Coming out to Tooele, there just wasn't anything available. So that was my primary reason for starting Stansbury Art and Literary Society, was to be able to get a group of people together so that we could form an organization and that could find a place that could be used to show our artwork. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then in the process, to be able to work with the community and get the community involved in cultural arts. And in 2007, the Mountain West Art Conference started up again, and I was still on the mailing list for the Utah Arts and Museums and received an invitation for the annual May conference. And at that point, I was able to talk with some of the people who worked with the arts and museums and get information from them about forming an organization. So essentially, I did start, I had the thought in 2006, but started working on it in 2007, 2008, and people from the Utah Arts and Museum were able to give me all the information that I needed.
And I'm curious, right now, obviously, you're still an active artist. What kind of art do you focus on in particular right now?
I do work on my photography. I just bought another camera. It's nothing like adding cameras to your possession there to keep hoping that it's going to make your work better. Mm-hmm. But, I've been doing close-ups of flowers and flowers in my yard. Mm-hmm. And actually, most of my pictures that won awards back east were pictures that were taken right within the area of my home. Wow. But I do flowers, close-ups, get right into the middle of it.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And as part of the group, as part of the Stansbury Art and Literary Society, what kind of things does the group focus on, or what do all of you do?
We are still in the forming stages of putting ourselves together. And as new people join, we get new ideas, new ways of wanting to progress, and that we have been doing projects, monthly projects, and that has started the people getting really enjoying coming to the meetings. And this past October, we had an open house, and members brought their artwork, and people were able to come. We meet at the Tooele Chamber of Commerce. They have a very nice building now, and the meeting room is a great place. So it gives us a stable area for people to come to, because we had spent 2 years just going from one person's house to another.
Right.
So, but we found that we've been gathering more members since being able to use the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a plus for us.
Yeah.
And we still have to iron out what kind of projects and presentations we're going to be doing. This past November, we had the gal come from the craft house who was in charge of the framing, picture framing there. They have such a good setup, but she came and spoke at our meeting. And essentially that's one of the things we'll be looking for too, is what different kinds of presentations each month along with our projects. Yeah. And then we'll be looking for ways to interact with the community to get more community involvement. Mm-hmm. And one of the ways we could apply for a grant from the Utah Arts and Museums called the Random Acts of Art. And that's one of our ideas that people have to come up with some ideas to be able to submit information for a grant to be able to do that.
Yeah. This is Doug Radunich with TooeleTV.